What's up, everyone? AJ on Day Trader Boom or Bust, here with my daily watch list and recap of the trading day. I actually recorded this earlier today at the market close, but realized when I was editing it that I had recorded the wrong screen. So I'm recording this a little bit late now because now was the only time I could find where it was quiet enough to be able to do another recording. In any case, let's get into the watch list. This was my watch list for today, which I post every morning on Twitter. So on the primary watch list, I had CRSR, which is was a Wall Street bets play. I had Riot as my pick for a crypto play. It was higher on weekend volatility in crypto. And then I also had FCell and Ride on some news. And then on the secondary list, I had OCGN and COLV as continuation plays from moves they had made last week. All right, so I actually, the day started off quite well, and then I managed to give back a large portion of those gains, which I'll talk about. I started the day with something a little bit different, which was a pre-market trade. I don't really, to be completely honest, I don't have a solid trade book play for pre-market, which is why I don't generally take them. But my the lion's share of my trade book is trading reversals or breakouts from key levels. And what I saw, let's back out here a little bit on this chart. What I saw in the pre-market here on CRSR was, actually, let's back a little bit more, and you can see that it made a pretty solid move up in the pre-market. And what I found was I saw it consolidating in this area. And although it doesn't appear to be here at the bottom, let me get the arrow out here. Oh, that's a little too big. As you can see at the bottom here, volume did start to come in. It looks a little small because of all the regular day volume, but it did kind of come in a bit. And I saw it consolidating here, and it looked a little weak on the level 2. So I was watching it. It threw this this candle here with a really long top wick, and I felt that this was a level here, which was I think it was about 4160. In any case, I went short when it broke 4160, and because I think that my 2R and generally most of my plays, if you at least that I've adopted recently and that I've been consistent with, is more of a scalping strategy where I get all out at 2R. But with because I don't really have a lot of confidence in the pre-market plays, I took a partial here when the price got to the 50. I believe that, yeah, this is the 50 SMA here, instead of waiting for my full 2R, which was around this 4075 level. And then what happened was, as you can see, the price went right back on me. And before it got to break even, I went ahead and took off the whole position. It was a little bit better than 0.5, about 0.6 R on that trade. So it was a successful pre-market trade, and it is what it is. Like I said, I don't really have much of a trade book for pre-market plays, so I was just happy to start the day off green. In any case, at the open, I traded OCGN. Now, let's back up here, and you'll see that in the pre-market, OCGN really sold off here. It's been weak for the last 3 days. And so I was watching that, and as it got to this S3 level and it consolidated here in the pre-market, I thought, there was a good chance that it might bounce off that level. So I was really watching it at the open. And let me zoom back in here. So you can clearly see this this first 1 minute candle here, it threw a long bottom wick. And when it broke above VPOC over here and above this, the top of this 1 minute candle, I played a 1 minute ORB and went long right here, as you can see. And again, this was my standard 2R scalp play. So when it did that 1 minute ORB, I hit my 2R and got all out. As you can see, I did miss a good portion or the lion's share of the move, but again, I was already green on the day, and with another 2R to add to that, I was at about 2.5R to start the day. So I was pretty happy with that. But OCGN isn't something that I trade often, so I wasn't overly familiar with the attitude and the price action of the stock. So after that trade, I went back to CRSR where there was a ton of volume, and I thought there would be opportunities on there, and there was. So you can see here, CRSR pushed up at the open, but when it hit pre-market high here, it wicked up and really started to look weak. So I started to watch it, and when it broke below the opening price here, I went short, and it was it immediately went in my direction, which was great. Now, the one thing I was a little bit disappointed with on this trade was that I didn't hold it for the full 2R. And the reason for that, it's not really a good reason, but once again, I was trading my P&L. I was already really, fairly green on the day. And so what I did is when the price stalled at this area, I ended up taking a partial here. And then it did continue to move in my direction. And before I got to the 100 SMA here, I saw that it wicked down, and I didn't really want to come back on me, so I took another partial. I meant to hold this final partial for another leg down. As you can see, it eventually did, but unfortunately, when it pushed up here, like I said, I was playing my P&L, and I took off the entire position. Unfortunately, because of that, I didn't even get a 2R return on what was a successful trade. I only ended up with 1.5R, but 1.5R green is 1.5R green, and I was at 4R green for the day after 3 trades. So, I wasn't too disappointed. I was just, a little disappointed I didn't follow my standard game plan there, because I could have seen a little bit of a better return. So that was the lion's share of my success for the day. Unfortunately, after that, I did start to, like I said, I started to give back some of the profits. So let me just show you a little bit here. Now, these next couple of trades wasn't anything I was too disappointed with. They were just trades that didn't quite go my way. I went back to OCGN. I did feel that there were some opportunities there, but like I said, I'd be lying if I didn't say that my confidence level was not quite as high on this. So here it is on the 1 minute chart, and so you can see this was my morning trade, and then it really pulled back. You can see here that OCGN pulled back, and then it started to consolidate at this level over here, which was the opening price. And I was looking for it to kind of bounce off that and maybe make another run up. So when it broke this, this is an S1 Camarilla pivot point, and you can see this big green candle here. So when I saw that, I went long at the break of VWAP and the break of this S1 Camarilla pivot point. As it turns out, that was a bit of a premature entry, and really the only thing looking back that would have told me that was you can see that the volume was still quite low over here, and unfortunately it came back on me. I'm not too disappointed with that trade. It was a breakout trade, as I normally do. I saw it bounce up off the opening price, and I entered the position. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. So I waited after that for another setup, and I saw an OCGN that it was still holding this opening price level. And once again, when I was watching it at this S1 level over here and at VWAP, and when it went when it broke above that, I went long again. As you can see, this trade actually did start to work for me. Unfortunately, my 2R profit level was at around this area here, which was previous day close. And unfortunately, it stalled here at the 630, 629, 630 level, and unfortunately came all the way back on me. I had moved my break even a little bit, moved it a little bit up a little bit. So it wasn't a full 1R loss, but it was still a losing trade. Maybe about 0.6 R loss on that trade. So unfortunately, at that point in the day, I'd gone from 4R green to about back down to 2.5R green. I really probably should have called it a day there, but I was trying to be pretty conservative and look for good setups, and I saw one on Tilray once again. Obviously, I've already kind of premised this. This one didn't really go my way, but I wasn't disappointed with this because I think that it really was a solid trade book strategy play, which was kind of a bounce or pullback off trending stock. So it was a bit against trend, but I'll show you why I got into it. So you can see that Tilray here was selling off for most of the day, and then you can see it through this semi hammer here at the bottom, and it threw a lot of volume. So I thought that this was really the potentially reversing volume. And so what I did was, let me just clear this and let's move on over here just so we can see exactly what happened after the fact. In any case, when it threw this large volume, this hammer candle, I went long at the break of that 1 minute candle, and you can see that the trade immediately worked. But I did get a little weary here at this 20 EMA, and it did kind of hit for some resistance at that 20 EMA. By this point, my trade was already about 1R, so I had already moved my stop loss to break even, and you can see that I got stopped there. So that was a break even trade. But this happens sometimes with a strong trending stock. I thought I might get a little bit fortunate here and was playing to get all the way back up to this S4 level or even this 50 SMA, but unfortunately it didn't. So again, not upset with that trade. I thought it was a good trade, just that just didn't work for me. Now comes the stuff that I'm really not as proud of, and so I went back to OCGN. I mentioned earlier that unfortunately with OCGN, I really didn't know much about the attitude of the stock or how it had any familiarity with how it moves, and so I got caught here in some consolidation, chopped up a little bit, and most importantly, the thing when I look back now that I was really kind of frustrated with myself about is, you can see these candles where, right here, this is almost, kind of textbook algorithmic trading. We're trading in a very, very tight range. I thought that this was going to make a break above this 614 level, which it had been, kind of knocking on the door of throughout a lot of the day. So what I did was I went long here, expecting a break. It quickly wicked up, but then immediately came back down on me here. And then, this is where the stubbornness, which is why I was disappointed with this, is that I was stubborn about wanting to be right about this move. I went long again here. And then unfortunately it came back on me here. And when I saw it bounce here, I gave it one more try. Although this last trade worked, again, I'm not thrilled about it because it really was more stubbornness than seeing a really clear pattern or strategy, unfortunately. But here I went long again over here, And fortunately, it did go in my direction. And sorry, the other thing I was disappointed in is I don't generally take trades in the last hour because I don't find that with my strategies that they work. And I just happened to still be trading at this point in the game in the day, and I took this trade. But anyways, went long here. And as you can see, my all out was here right before the close of day. And this was, it would have been slightly better than 1.2R if I had gotten out up here. My 2R was just a little bit up here. I thought I was going to touch it, but as you can see, it sold off really quickly in the last minute of the day. And unfortunately, when I got out, it was a little bit less than a 1R trade, maybe a 0.8R trade. So, which doesn't make up for the losses that I took here. So when it was all said and done, I basically went from 4R green to just slightly better than maybe 1 point, I think it was 1.7R here. So it was a green day. Not going to cry about a green day, but a little disappointing that those last couple of trades, on those last couple of trades that I took. One other thing is, I'll just kind of share with you, I use ChartLog as my journal. And you can see here, let me just get my Epic out here. And you can see, so this was my pre-market trade here on CRSR, then my opening trade on OCGN, and then my PNL, we'll call it my PNL trade on CRSR again. So like I said, I was 4R green there. And I really am trying to stick to my 6 trades for the day, because I find that at least right now, as I continue to work on getting better, that's where I really find my best green days. And I should have stopped at this trade here at Tilray. These 2 trades, they're trades that didn't work for me, like I said, but I wasn't too disappointed there. The ones I am disappointed with are these 3 here. So I shouldn't have taken those. I ended up taking 9 trades for the day, but it is what it is. 1.7R green, and that's where I finished for the day. So a green start to the week, and hopefully we can tighten things up and finish the rest of the week really strong. Either way, continue to tune in and see how the week goes. Hopefully that was informative for you, and we will see you on my next watch list and recap. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers. Bye.